Hey G fans, GojiFan93 here, and today I'm doing a post commentary on the Godzilla DLC that came out for Minecraft. Now, normally I am not the person to be playing Minecraft at all. I've never been a fan of it. I know that it's one of the most successful games out there, but it's just not one of those games that I've always found interesting to play. So, but of course, Toho decided to drop another surprise on us, and I think it was yesterday, as of this recording, that they dropped a trailer that Godzilla DLC was coming, and then they just dropped the actual DLC for us to purchase. So I was like, oh, okay. So at first I wasn't sure how it was going to look or anything like that, but the trailer actually convinced me to try it out. So of course I had to. Luckily, I actually had a Game Pass for like a code where I was able to redeem, so I didn't actually have to buy Minecraft, which was very nice. Because besides this DLC, I'm probably never going to play Minecraft again. But then, really, this DLC was only like about $8, so I was like, okay. Instead of having to pay for Minecraft, I just pay $8 for this little DLC. So. Also, the reason why I didn't do like a Let's Play style is because I sort of knew that it wasn't going to be a super long experience. So I just wanted to sort of, engross myself into the experience and just see what it was for myself before doing anything really. Because at first I didn't know what to expect. So that's why I didn't really set it up as a Let's Play. But yeah, what was cool with this is you start out actually in this cool big area that's like a big theater, and there's actually different like theater modes or like movies that you can go see. There's like 4 stages technically with this, and what's really cool is that the first they call it like screen 1 is a it's really cool actually. It's sort of this. You get to see the 1954 Godzilla, and he's like around like a train station, and I guess it's like your job. You have to run away from him basically, and so as you're running through, you're getting shot at by his atomic breath. There's like debris falling, and it's just kind of this cool survival sort of style. It actually is kind of terrifying in a little bit of a way, but I think again, a lot of this stuff is like very short experiences. So they won't really last you that long. I mean, most of the time it took me to beat these was about maybe 10, 15 minutes each. But I like them for like small little fun experiences. What's cool though is, I mean, you could look at this and this whole first scenario where you're, running away from Godzilla. It could be something where it could be turned into a full-fledged game, and I feel like that could be a really cool thing. But the cool thing is that it's not just the train station with the first area. Like, there's actually different, I guess, levels in this first, I guess, area. So like you start off with the train, and you make your way through it, and then you actually go on to like the skyscraper. There's like the second area, which is like a skyscraper part, and you just have to make your way through that. The cool thing also, I guess, with each of these levels is there's little side objectives in them. So for instance, when I was on the train track one, the first thing that I had to do was I had to like light up one of the carts with, make sure that all the green lights were on, and I guess that was part of the side part. I didn't even know really what I did. I just sort of stumbled upon it and then just completed it. And it said mission 1 complete, so I was like, oh, okay. The second one, actually the next 2 scenarios, I actually didn't do the mission objectives because I sort of ran past them, and I didn't know that they could be skipped. I thought it was actually like mandatory, but no, you can actually just run through the whole thing without having to do any of the side stuff. But like the second one, there was like construction workers that you could save. And then the third one was saving someone from a burning building. And I went through the steps of trying to get the fire extinguisher, and then went into the building. But I guess you can it's like a one use for the fire extinguisher. So I had to go back and figure it out. But then I accidentally went into the completion area. So I did not save the person from the burning building. So that's my bad. But so the first I guess scenario or screen is really cool. It's like this first person survival game where you're running away from Godzilla. I think that this technically could make a whole game if they really fleshed it out, and I feel like that it would be really cool. So maybe they could make some mods. I don't know. Maybe Minecraft people can turn this into more of a full game. I don't know. The next one is my favorite by far, because this is where you actually get to play as Godzilla, which I did not expect. I was not expecting this DLC to have you play as Godzilla, but you get to and again, the other thing that really sold this on me was the poster that they released, and the the Godzilla you play as is the 84 suit. And to me, that just, I was like, okay, of course I have to try this. Like, as soon as I saw that, I was like, okay. They use his roar, his footstep sound effects. It's amazing. I can't believe that they decided to use the 84 suit as the Godzilla that you get to play as. So the second scenario is awesome, though. It's basically just fighting all the monsters from the movies, which is so cool. I started out, and another thing that was interesting, actually, Jet Jaguar was sort of my partner throughout the whole thing, which I thought was kind of clever. But like the first scenario, you fight, or I guess wave, they call them waves in this mode. The first one, you fight Mechagodzilla, and then it goes to King Ghidorah, where actually then Mothra and Rodan come help you. So they're actually sort of mimicking the movies as well. And then you just keep on going through. You fight like Gigan, Mecha King Ghidorah. Also, like other monsters pop up. Anguirus shows up. Gamacarus shows up. Mothra, Batra, like Biolante's in there. Space Godzilla shows up. Megalon. Destroya's like one of the last. I think he's like the last boss. It's this last little, like this whole scenario here is so cool to see. And again, the fact that they were able to do this in the Minecraft engine was really cool. I didn't know that the engine was capable of doing this type of thing. It's really arcadey. And again, most of these experiences I feel are just a one and done. I don't really see myself coming back to it because it's so quick. And again, like if you replayed it, it's just going to be the same thing again and again. So, but for a first time experience, it's really cool to see all these characters, in sort of the Minecraft style. Of course, I would prefer to see it in more of a realistic look, but I guess I'll take what I can get in terms of this, because to be honest, this is like the closest thing we've gotten in terms of a Godzilla fighting game that's official, that's like on PC or consoles or anything like that. So, and it's like if Godzilla PS4 played better in terms of the versus modes, but it was a really cool mode. That, to be honest, this was my favorite. This was the highlight of the DLC, was just being able to fight all these different monsters. That was a really cool thing. Moving on to the third one. The third one actually involved Shin Godzilla, and this one was I'd probably say was my least favorite, just because of the fact that it's like a build defense sort of thing. So Shin Godzilla, approaches on the shore, and you basically have to build these, you got to fortify and build these walls and, be able to take Shin Godzilla out, I guess, and defend the city. But the rules and the way that the mechanics work was, it was sort of confusing to me, and I didn't quite understand exactly what to do. I was just sort of running around placing walls as best I could, and it was weird. Like, Godzilla's health would go down, but I wouldn't understand why. Like, it was just like as soon as he would go through a building, part of his health would go down. I managed to, I guess, beat the first wave, but then when the second wave came in, I didn't really go, because he was tougher. He was in his second form. And he managed to reach the base, I guess, and destroy it. And so I failed on that one. So and I didn't really feel like going through the whole thing again. I'm assuming that the third wave would be where Godzilla's in his final stage, and you have to do more of that stuff. So I also feel like a lot of this would probably be a lot more fun if you did have more players on your side, because this is also online, so you can play with multiple people. So I'm assuming this defense mode would probably be a lot easier with multiple people. You could coordinate how to defend the city and all that stuff. But for me, it was probably my least favorite, just because it was. I'm also just not a big fan of defense games in the first place, so it wasn't really up my alley. But for defense people, this probably was something really cool. The last stage, or I guess the last mode, was more of a passive one. It was cool to see, but it reminded me a lot of Pokemon Snap, if any of you guys played those back in the day. And literally, you're just taking pictures of the monsters. So the theme is Godzilla versus Kong from the MonsterVerse, and you have 3 different areas, I guess, moments that you're capturing. So the first one, you're actually seeing Kong in his dome, like at the beginning of the film where he's in that like artificial dome area. But what's cool actually is that you think that Kong is just going to be walking through and you're just going to be taking pictures of him. But then all of a sudden Godzilla pops in and destroys the dome and they start fighting each other. And I'm thinking, that's what they should have done in the film. That would have been a cool first fight. So you actually get to see Kong and Godzilla fight in this little dome area. But you have to take the pictures. But the thing is every time a little red reticule pops up, that's where you have to target on that reticule and then hit the capture button, and that's what counts as that photo being taken. And then at the end of it, they tally how many pictures you've taken, and then from there you get a score, like good, perfect, or whatever. I got a perfect on both the first two scenarios, but the third one, as soon as the last reticle popped up, it just ended. So I had no chance. I wasn't fast enough to click it, so I didn't get 100% on the third one. But whatever, I got most of them. But the second one, obviously, the second scenario was cool. It was basically the final act of the movie where Godzilla and Kong are fighting in the city. And, again, it's just cool to see them fight. The animation's pretty stiff, though. I mean, it's not something that's like spectacular to look at. I mean, it's Minecraft, so you don't really expect too much of a spectacular or like graphics or wise. Then in the third one is where you have Godzilla fight Mechagodzilla, and then Kong, comes and helps him as well. So it plays along with the movie. And that was kind of it. And I thought it was kind of a cute thing. I mean, you can also walk around like this Monarch facility, which looked kind of cool. You can talk to like researchers and see different like war bats and around the place. It was kind of cool. It was pretty immersive. Again, most of these modes, I really feel like they're really great ideas. If they were fleshed out more, you could make 4 games. There's already like 4 Godzilla games right here that if developers took these ideas and fleshed them out, they could make them into like legit, like full games. And I there's a lot of potential here, but unfortunately, I don't think Toho will, this was just for a little crossover thing. So I don't think it's going to be made into anything else, but one can hope. But, so that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the Godzilla DLC for Minecraft. I did not expect it to be as good. I really thought it was going to be something that was very, cheap. And at first I wasn't even really going to bother. When I saw the first poster that they teased about it, I was like, okay. It's probably, I thought it was going to be similar to the Call of Duty one where Godzilla and Kong are just in the background while you're just still doing the normal gameplay. But no, like they actually paid tribute to a lot of the films, and it wasn't just the MonsterVerse stuff. Like it's the whole franchise, and I think the attention to detail was really well done. So yeah, good job, Minecraft. That in Toho, I think that's you guys did pretty good with this one. So I don't know if this is a timed thing. Obviously, it might be similar to Gigabash, where since it's a licensing agreement, eventually the DLC may be pulled from stores. I'm not sure. But I'd say, hey, if you're a Godzilla fan, you'll get a kick out of it. If you're a Minecraft fan, I'm pretty sure you will. I really don't see any reason why this would not be something that you would want to check out. So, or wouldn't want to check out. But so I give it 2 thumbs up. It's pretty good. It was pretty entertaining. Again, I don't see myself coming back to it. But for $8 for a cool Godzilla experience, I think it was pretty good, especially because we're so starved for Godzilla video games, like new games that are not, we're just waiting for one to come out. So I think this will, satiate our appetite for now until something else happens later. So, but that's it for me, guys. So I say go check out the Minecraft DLC for Godzilla, and that's it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, stay big, G fans.